something extremely destructive that all artists experience, and I'm going to give you a way to fix it. You're holding your music too long. This is the destructive thing that's messing you up. When you make music, that's a reflection of who you were and how you were then. That includes everything you knew. It includes your life experiences up till that point. It includes everything from the style of the way you dress, the way you view the world, the way all this stuff interacts is like a concoction, a combustible thing within a beaker, and then whatever that is the authenticity within that beaker is who you are. That's what it is. The further you get from that, when time goes by, the less authentic it seems to you. But I got news for you. Nowhere in music does it say that the artist understands what is good about their own art. Most of the time, producers are so valuable to artists because they can point out, hey, that's your best song. If you don't believe me, think through history. There's a number of cases, but one specific one comes to mind. Under the Bridge by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Anthony Kiedis wrote a poem. He didn't think it was going to be something that the band would work on that was good for the Chili Peppers. Rick Rubin, luckily, was on the project. Rick Rubin's somebody who's tuned into the consciousness of what music is. The fact that if we try to control it and make other people view us a certain way, that ultimately ruins and destroys the art. He listens to this poem for the first time and he knows how great it is. And he convinces Anthony to share it with the band. And then one of the greatest songs of all time, it's a masterpiece when you combine the band and what they all did with that, with Anthony's poem of where he was in his life at the time he wrote that. If he let too much time go by between when he wrote it and later, he would never have even... It wouldn't have been in the notebook for Rick to find. It would have been something that gets buried. It would have been changed. He could have rewritten it 85 times and it would have never been the same. This is the point. When you get anything, when you have access to that stream of consciousness that makes you pick up a pencil and write stuff down and pick up your guitar and play, there's a magic that has happened to create that series of events. And if you choose to ignore it, you are ignoring your future. You are ignoring what could possibly be, and you're ignoring it because you think you know better. You're ignoring it because you think you can control how people perceive you by changing what was given to you in that stream of consciousness. You think that by learning more in a gap of time that you now want to put everything you learned into everything you're now doing. And at that point, you learned you wouldn't have done that the same way months later. This is why you'd never work in that way. You have to, it has to seem authentic to you at the time, which is why you do it and put it out as soon as you're done. You never let any time go by, because the further away you get, the more roadblocks you'll put up between what could be amazing and your success. You will put roadblocks in the way. You'll redo it. You'll re-record it. You'll get new equipment. You want to do it again. You get a new freaking console. You get a new mic. You get a new mic pre. You get the new idea that you don't like 808s and everything. You get a new idea that you don't want the synth and whatever. You'll just automatically ruin it a number of ways. Millions of ways I could think of that you will ruin your song if you let too much time go by, where our brain is created to be able to make us resilient against all odds, able to survive anything, and able to literally take us out of something that should be, that's something we don't even think about. Something that's just innate within us, the same way it was when you got that idea. You just got this idea of this amazing concept that you wanted to put down. You put it down. It was amazing. It was beautiful. It was something great. And now, through overthinking, with the possibilities that are endless inside our head, you think you're going to overthink that into greatness? I got another thing coming for you if you think that. No shot. Not a chance. All you'll do is ruin that create something totally different. And both of these things are just some sort of Frankenstein of what the real thing could have been. Because what you're also doing is stagnating your growth. From the time you created whatever it was you created until whenever the next thing you create is that you're happy with, if you spend any time between those 2 points working on this old thing, not clearing it out of your head because you're done with it, you will basically hinder your future work the same way you're hindering the past work. You'll always be trying to make the best out of this thing that could have been done, should have been cleared out of your head to allow you to progress and move forward and reflect on who you were when you made that. That's what makes people grow. That's what creates success, the understanding and the reflection. And it's also not trying to maintain control of how people view you. Not relevant. You must be fearless. You must be fearless with your artwork. Every step of the way, the music you make, the mixes you do, you get them done even at the sake of possibly failing. And that's the point. It doesn't matter if you succeed or fail. You should get comfort in knowing this. The simple act of finishing and moving on will allow you to finally find the path you're looking for. If you get hung up and you're tied to this thing and you hold on to it, you keep thinking about it, you keep trying to make it better, how many hundreds of more things could you have created in that time that you're now not going to create because you're occupying your time with the past? And not only is it the past, it's some distant version of your authentic self that used to be, that you're trying to reconnect with based on your now knowledge. You wouldn't have written that song today. You wrote that song then. It should have been out then. So this is one of those things where if you find yourself doing this, let it go. Finish the freaking song and move on to the next one, because this is one of those losing battles where you've already lost. You just don't know how much you've lost yet because the tally ain't in. The bill hasn't come yet. So you don't know when you're actually out. You are out, man. Your wallet is empty. And you're going to keep losing. More and more, you can relate it to money or time, because you're cutting days off your life. You're cutting time off the amount of things that you could actually create and produce, because in the world we live in today, all we got is time, and it's ticking away by the day. And if you think producing less works of art in your life, less great pieces of music is a benefit, well, then you don't really value the talent you've been given. You've been given the ability to reach out and connect with a consciousness that's beyond you, to write things that are unique to your perspective and your role in this world. We all have our own role to play. No one else is going to see it like you, the way you see your life. But keep this in mind. That means that you can't follow anyone else's path. You can't listen to other people when they say this, that, or the other thing. But you should also value the idea and the concept that the artist is often too close to what they're doing to really understand how great it could be. And if you have anybody in your life that's telling you, hey man, put it out, that's great. It was great the first time. Put it out. What you did is great. Put it out. Then take that advice and you got to run with it. Pretend you're signed to a label, and that's the person who is telling you, this is it, man. This is, trust me, people are going to dig it. And whether they do or not, it's not relevant. You letting go and giving over what you've done, letting it breathe in the world. However you have to do that, you do that. You don't hold it. You don't try to make it as great as possible. You don't try to make it perfect. The artist's imperfections is what makes them unique and great. Not their ability to do things, not the better they can sing. It's what they can't sing that causes them to be unique. It's what they don't play the same as a drummer is what causes their drumming to be unique. It's why certain people sound as amazing as they sound, because they are hindered in some way. It makes them sound unique. It gives them a signature. Dave Grohl is one of the best drummers of all time, but if he could play as like technically amazingly great and held the sticks the same way as some of these big band guys, he wouldn't be Dave Grohl, and that music wouldn't be that special. But because he had his limitations, which granted are few, the dude could do things that were so great and so unique because he was playing his role. Play your role. That's what you come up with. There's so much value in that. At the time you create it, when you're closest to it, you'll recognize it the most. It will be the easiest for you to let it go. Don't let enough time go by where you then have to have a debate in your head about how you want people to see you. Bottom line is this: you can't control how they're going to see you anyway. So don't even try. No matter how long you hold on to it, try to make it perfect so that people view you a certain way. It ain't going to happen. Let go of that thought. They're going to see you how they see you, and it doesn't matter. And this is why Rick Rubin has said many times, he doesn't care about the audience's opinion. That's the last thing he cares about. He needs this thing to be great, unique, and mean something to the artist and to him, because he knows if the emotion is there, then the audience will like it. Because guess what? The audience doesn't even know what they want. You're trying to control your perception so that they know what they're going to like it. They don't even know what they want. How could you know what they want? Such a ridiculous concept. You got this. Keep one thing in mind. All you got to do is create what you got into your head when it came to you. You create it and you get it done swiftly with purpose, and then you put it out, and you will avoid all of this stuff I'm mentioning right now that we all go through. I went through this forever. We wouldn't even be talking right now if I believed I had to control my perception to you, because nothing I do is perfect. My early videos were terrible, but I had to make them in order to get to this point, because I do have something to say. But if I was scared of failure, you'd never see me, because I'd be hung up on the third video still 5.5 months or however long it's been since I started doing this down the line. I'd be hung up on that third video, fourth video, trying to make it great, reconsidering if I liked it, or the whole thing, everything you guys are doing. The reason you even know me and I'm even talking to you and I'm looking in your eyes right now is because of that. Because I let go of the idea that I could control my reflection. I accept it and I move on. And in doing that, I allow myself to improve every day. You guys got this. Take this with you. Trust me when I tell you, it will help. With every song you finish, you will get better. With every mix you finish, you will get better. With every single time you finish and reflect, you will get better. All right? If you dug it, do me a favor. Comment so that everybody else knows you dug it. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it more than you know. And so will everybody else. Thanks for being here. Custom Cut Studios. My name's Evan Jaffe. You guys got this.